Alright, we live, finally. Oh my god. It's been like eons. What's up, family? Welcome back to another live. So just to let y'all know, because we are going to be bouncing back and forth from different screens, I tried my best to set it up to make sure that everybody felt included. But yeah, we are broadcasting now on TikTok, so all our TikTok fans, shout out to y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Hi.
Facebook.
Y'all, I'm literally cooking, so I'm listening to you, but I'm cooking. Or I'm talking, but I'm cooking.
Yeah. We just thought that we would do something new, because we always get to talking in here. Anytime she start cooking, we get to talking, and we always be like, oh my God, that could have been a perfect podcast, or just like something that we could have had an open discussion with people for. So this more so is an open discussion, but the topic of this is material versus experience. And what we can do, we can wait maybe like another 2 minutes for some people to get in, because I know I saw some people that said that they had scheduled for the event to be here with us. So welcome in. We letting everybody get in because we really want to open up the dialogue to everybody rather than us. Just me and Britnee, we all. I can't call you Britnee online.
You can't.
I can't call you Britnee.
You get slapped online.
We always agree on everything. That's ace, right? So like we always gonna agree, but I like to know, like, are we the only ones that feel this way? So anytime we have a podcast, we love to get y'all opinions about things, because at the end of the day, our platform is to enrich and give advice from a place of experience and not just from a textbook. So we want to make sure that what we're saying and what we're agreeing upon is also what you guys may also feel as well. So for those of y'all that's coming in, welcome in. Thank you guys again. For the ones that didn't hear, we are broadcasting on TikTok and Facebook right now. So we're trying to cover everything, because we got a lot of y'all. We wouldn't be nothing without y'all. But we cooking in the kitchen, so we just gonna switch it up for y'all. Y'all may hear them crazy kids in the background, but don't just act like you don't hear them. They not here. Oh my God.
Fall in line and don't act like they don't exist.
All right, so let me see who checking in. What's going on? Your favorite Jasmine. What's going on? Charmaine, Ashley, Deja. Say y'all look so good. Thank you for being such a good example. Of course, no problem. This is why we here. This is what we have to do. We show up for y'all.
And we are making taco salad for anybody that asks, or I'm making taco salad for
I'm the taste tester. You feel me? I'm the taste tester. But we ain't gonna take all y'all time tonight. Britnee cooked fast. I'm sorry. I have to call you Britnee.
Second time.
Likely she cooked fast. So the topic is material versus experience. If you didn't catch it, what we talked about in our podcast. If you want to hear more about how we felt when it comes to those two topics, you can go to Behind the Rings. If you haven't been on Spotify, you can go on Spotify, type in Behind the Rings. You'll see our podcast pop up. And the episode that we're covering is material versus experience.
And it is streaming everywhere. It's on Apple, it's on Amazon, it's on Spotify. Everywhere you listen to your podcast is there.
Everywhere. We all around us. So, it kind of came up out of nowhere. Just in conversation. Hey, what's going on? Welcome in, guys. Oh, yeah, we getting traction up in here. Y'all just put a little pressure on me. Gee.
Hi.
Let me clear my throat. So the topic is material versus experience. So what we mean by that is, what do you value more? For me personally, I prefer experiences, right? Like when.
So sorry to cut you off there.
Go ahead.
But so what we mean by material versus experience is it's in the form of love language. So obviously material is more so gift giving or receiving, and experience is more so quality time. So to just give you guys a quick context, because we are continuing based off of the podcast episode that just came out. What was that, like yesterday? Yesterday. Yeah, yesterday's Tuesday. Yesterday. In that podcast, we were talking about how our love languages shifted. And I think there's a narrative that people feel that your love language doesn't change when you get in a relationship, especially when you are in a relationship as long as we've been.
Yeah.
And it's easy to say, no, this is my relationship. So we talked about it on the podcast. When we first started this relationship, it was like 12 years ago, but when we started our marriage almost 7 years ago, my love language was quality time. That's not my love language no more. And my love language is quality time for a really long time. My love language now, quality time is important to me. Don't even let me lie. But my top tier love language is physical touch. At first, that was not my love language at all. Like, don't touch me, I will fight you. Yeah. You know, you will catch these, Easter landing hands. However,
for a long time,
like it was so bad. Our sex life was, jacked up because of it. It was a lot. Like, it was very difficult to connect physically. It was difficult to connect intimately because I was like, don't touch me. That's not what I like. That's not what I want to do. No. And there would be times in our marriage where we would go through dry spurts of no sex, no nothing. It was just barely kissing, all of that, because that wasn't my love language. Now, physical touch now, it is different. 99% of the time, ladies, I have turned into the men that we discuss. I'm always thinking about sex all the time. All the time. Anytime I look at him, even now, that's all my brain is thinking about. I love this man.
Even now?
I do. Even now?
Even now?
What you mean? What's on my brain?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I like, everybody sees you with clothes on. I don't. That's not how we rolling up in here. I don't see you with no clothes on at any time. Sorry.
This ain't OnlyFans. This is the wrong platform.
I'm just saying. But that's what we mean in the context of material versus experience.
Yeah. I see some people in the comments saying they lean more towards experience. I'm saying a lot of experience. Okay. Acts of service.
Yes, acts of service also falls along the experience. I didn't even think about that. That was good. Yeah. That was good. I do like acts of service though. To a degree. I think
that's not my number one.
It's not. It's not even my top anything. And acts of service, because when you were raised, it's based on how you were raised. So I can say that because I was raised by an independent black single mother, doing stuff for me is like what you're trying to say. I can't do it myself, and it takes a little jab at your ego sometimes, because it's like, no, acts of service is cute up until you start doing everything that I want to do, that I'm supposed to do, and then it starts to become offensive. But it all depends on your program, your mentality, several things. But yeah, no, acts of service for me ain't it. Not in a bad way. I just care more about like other things, quality time.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I was all physical touch. I was a typical man when it came to the whole situation. I was like, because you gotta go to my background. Like in high school or whatever, like I was all sports. Like my dad played football, so all throughout growing up, it was sports. It was just being focused on things. And after that cord got cut and I was able to go live life on my own, being a young, raging hormone teenager going to college, like, of course, that's what I was trying to jump into every night. So in that sense, yeah, I was very typical man. Because I'm a Pisces, acts of service was a huge thing for me early on. I've got a lot more level-headed and sound, where material things and somebody doing something for me, like gifts or something like that, unless it's in the form of an experience, but like a material gift or just material period, now it's not, it don't hold the same value or weight at all.
I think that's what made you celebrating your birthday this year so much more lit, because it was all experience. Yeah. Like there was not one gift purchased. We literally went on like a 3-day date night.
Yes. Like we got to do things.
That was so much fun.
We got to do things that we don't typically get to do. Having kids at an early age, it kind of sets your pockets, especially being a child. Babies having babies, so we kind of stepped up to the plate and was like, we're going to be there for our kids in every way, shape, and form. They're not going to feel the responsibilities of adults. And to a degree, they did. But I mean, for the most part, we're both in our children's lives. So from their perspective, they're like, y'all ain't miss a beat. But to us, it was like, man, like what we could give y'all, had we had those resources at the time, like that, it would change a lot of things. But now I can sit down on the couch. We can watch a whole Netflix series. Your boy's gonna feel like he bought me a Lambo.
And listen, what's wild about it is like the Netflix and chill situation, I'm the one that initiates it. Like every single time he's genuinely watching the show, and I'm like, boy, did you not get the memo? Like this was a 5-minute see and touch and go. Like touch
this is
and
the pilot.
go.
It's the pilot. You have to watch the whole thing. We can do that on episode 2.
No.
Who does that on opening season?
No.
Oh, right.
No.
Like sitting there chilling, eating my popcorn. I just start feeling a little rub on my ear.
No. Y'all, I have completely converted. Okay, I do not play that at all. But this is slightly off topic, but touching back on the whole kid season. So we are in the process now of we're actually committing to doing it. Writing out our relationship, because I'm sure that people have endured so much, especially people in marriages that have been married for 50, 60 years. I can promise you that there is not another couple like us. And that's why I love our marriage and I love our relationship, because when we sat down on the couch yesterday and started the thought process journey of our relationship, we literally endured everything in a relationship possible outside of infidelity with the combination of a child. Infidelity, yes, but when a child came out of the picture, no. And there was one other thing that we thought of. Divorce, yeah, because that's not happening. I mean, we've had a long distance relationship. Yeah. We can't go through details because it's a lot, but we're literally, because we've known each other for 17 years, we had to unpack. Listen.
Don't say that out loud. Damn, man.
We had to unpack a lot of stuff, and then when you think about all the stuff that, like, when you go back to those beginning years, like those 14-year-old years, it's like, wow, like we went through a lot of different seasons, and throughout each one of those seasons, we transformed, we changed. So the things that we were cool with, like before, we ain't cool with now. Like we're just not the same people. And I say all that to say, sometimes when you're in relationships, you think that things are supposed to be the same. They're not going to be the same. Because who you were when you started off with that person, it doesn't even matter if you're an adult. After you're with that person for a long period of time, whether it be a year or longer, it's not the same.
Yeah.
I promise you it's not the same. The man who I met is not the man who I'm married to now. I can assure you that.
Yeah, I know that to be true for myself.
What?
So they got a question for you. They said, do you think that your love language has changed because you're more comfortable with your body?
100% yes.
What?
Yes, 100%.
So I could have answered that, but I wanted you to tell her.
No, 100%. And it's because I can finally say this now on live, because y'all finna get it raw. When someone loses weight, everybody just sees the exterior. They just see, oh my gosh, they lost weight, now they're brand new. That's not it. And I can't speak for everybody, but that's not it for me. That's not for the people that are in my circle that have lost weight. We're not on that. We're not on the vanity part of weight loss, okay? Yeah. No shade to anybody that's got a BBL. And for anybody that has asked me about VSG, this is not the easy way out. This is not a BBL, okay?
It wasn't for vanity purposes.
It wasn't for vanity purposes either. I have friends and peers that had the same surgery as me, or one more invasive, which is the bypass. And I have lost more weight than they did because I did more work than they did. And it's no shade to the work that they did or didn't do. But I did more work. I put in more hours. I went to the gym 5 days a week in the beginning and then 6 days a week after. So what I put in is what I got out. Some of them, they took them 2 years to lose 80 pounds. For me, it took me 9 months to lose 100 pounds because of the work that I put in. So when you're talking to people about weight loss, in their journey, everybody's different. Everybody's outcome is different. The work they put in is different. Everybody's why is different. Again, I say all that to say, what I had to put in to get to this point, it wasn't about the weight loss surgery. It wasn't about the weight. It wasn't about the vanity. I had to mentally get clear, because when you tell somebody, it's fine. When you tell somebody, in 9 months or in a few months, you're about to see weight drop off that you've never seen drop off before. You have to be mentally sound to handle that.
Yeah.
I lost 110 pounds in 9 months. That's insane. And even for me going through it, that's insane. For normal people, that's not surgery or not. That's insane.
It was a lot for all of us around her.
Oh, yeah.
To see the kids, like to see their mom, like literally change into a completely different person.
Oh yeah.
For me to see my wife being one way, like
especially from knowing me since 14,
like,
I can imagine.
I've seen this woman through every body possible.
Yep.
Literally, I always used to tell her when she was larger, I was like, girl, all this is a fat suit. Like, trust me, I see exactly what you're gonna be. Just trust me, just go with the process. You're gonna be fine. But it like happened like overnight is what it seemed like. And for anybody that's been following us, you can attest to that. Like, she dropped weight quick, so we all had to adjust. But man,
it was a mental shift, and that mental shift made me realize that I was in a boot loop. If you're a computer or a tech person, it's a boot loop. When it's just when you see that ring of death on Apple, I was in a boot loop mentally. And when I came out of that, it helped me find my value. It helped me define what confidence means to me. And my confidence is not rooted in vanity. My confidence is not rooted in my looks, because I show up for y'all with this. I don't wear makeup every day. I don't get dressed up every day. You will see me in a t-shirt and activewear quicker than you will see me in heels and anything else. Because this flesh, this body that y'all see is literally, it ain't even real, y'all. Like, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Whatever mental path you're on, whatever spirituality or religious belief, baby, it ain't, none of this is real anyways. We're just gonna leave it at that.
That's a topic for, that's a podcast.
It ain't real anyways. This is just flesh. This is just material. This is just but I had to get internally correct. I had to heal internally. I had to get my shiz together. And when I did that, I was able to view myself as somebody who was worthy to be in this relationship with him. Because no offense, and I don't take it offensively, when y'all be coming in my comments talking about how fine my man is, listen sis, I understand. I'm not one of those wives that get offended. I don't get bothered. I know my man is fine. But there was a point in the marriage and in our relationship where I didn't feel qualified. So other women would approach him in my face. And that, it got to me, not because they were approaching him, not because he was, diverting them, whatever it was. I never had an issue with that exchange. I never had an issue with a woman approaching him. That was never my issue. It was the fact that a woman felt comfortable to talk to my man, knowing that we're married, because you see the children, you see the ring, you see all that stuff. I wasn't upset at the fact that they was hollering at my man. I was mad at myself, because at what point do you say it's okay to walk up to another woman's man in her face and shoot your shot? I'm standing right here. But then it makes me look at myself as a woman like, what energy, what vibe am I giving off that you thought it was okay to approach my man while I'm standing here?
See, a lot of women don't take self-accountability in situations.
Oh, I take 100% accountability, because what were you giving off? And then the fact that I never at any point addressed the woman and said, "Oh, this is my man," I just walked off. And this is a true story. There have been times where I've literally just walked away and removed myself from the situation, and it's like, that's why I came and talked to you in the first place.
From the situation as well.
Yes, so it wasn't I'm not a combative person. I'm not an argumentative person, but there's a point where I will shut down so terribly where I walk away. But at what expense to me, like my confidence? You just walked away, and you have a daughter that just looked at that and saw, and you just, and when my daughter started doing little things and saying, "Mommy, don't wear that. Mommy, don't do that," I was like, okay, she's not trying to be mean, but she's noticing that what I'm wearing is disempowering, or what I'm doing is not uplifting. And I'm a mirror and a reflection of my child. And if she doesn't see value in me, she's not going to feel it for herself. So I had to do some self-work, some healing, some digging, some more healing, some root work, some constant, continuous shadow work. Yeah. And it literally like, it was me.
I saw a few of you ladies talking about, you waiting on your date, your VSG date and stuff like that. I don't know what doctor you had. I believe my wife had one of the best doctors in the game when it came to this, because the preliminary before we even put a scalpel to her stomach was that she had to pass certain qualifications, and they like triple checked and double checked in multiple areas. So
I saw multiple specialists.
If you have not gotten the proper information from your doctor, request that. If they're unable to provide you with that, there's YouTube. Trust me, I watched the whole procedure being done live before she even got the procedure done, I needed to, that's just me. Somebody's touching my wife's body. I gotta know like what you doing, bro. Like you messing with her organs. So I needed to understand the process so I can communicate with her like this is what you need to, you know, be aware of.
Yeah.
But more than anything, it is a mental game. The procedure is a very like dry run type of procedure. It's a very practice type of procedure. It's not like an open heart surgery. This is something that they do just like to pass the time. They can do this in their sleep. So for you, drop the fear of it. I understand it's a surgery. You're gonna be fearful, but more than anything, you have to go into this with a new mindset. Your body is literally about to drop weight without you having to do anything, and that could cause body dysmorphia. That could cause what's that syndrome? The imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So get in a place where you can deal with yourself, process information, because you're going to have to do this on an everyday, constant basis. Because 1 week you'll be 10 pounds lighter than you were the previous one.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, you have to be ready for that. If you don't have that mind-body connection, this procedure is not going to go well for you. And you'll have to be there maybe in another year, or you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. So,
and I will say this and correct you. You do have to do something to get the results. Now you can get the surgery and not do anything, and you can just lose 10 pounds. Or you can do the work and lose more. It's a surgery that's literally created for you. But the one piece of advice that I will give anybody who's embarking on a weight loss journey, whether it's through surgery or just on you have to get your mental together. The weight that you carry is comprised of fat. It is comprised of health. Health conditions such as PCOS, which is what I had, diabetes, heart failure, heart congestive failure, something, or high blood pressure. I'm sorry.
Sciatica pain.
Sciatica. Like there's a lot of things that go along with the weight. It's not just about fat. It's about your health conditions as well. But it's about what you're carrying mentally. It's about what you're carrying emotionally. Those things play a role in what weight. Specifically for women, I cannot speak for men, but specifically for women, that is what we carry. Baby weight, post-baby weight, it's so much deeper than just fat. It's comprised of a lot of other things, but you can lose fat, and that can only be 10 pounds. Everything else is your childhood trauma. Everything else is relationship trauma. Everything else is unresolved issues that you've been carrying, conflicts. It's a cancer. You have to release it if you want to be long-term successful. And I have spoken to hundreds of women, and I'm not exaggerating. My DMs are scrollable, so much so that I don't even know my friends' DMs. Everybody's DMs are in one category. You know, I can scroll and show you hundreds and hundreds of women that have messaged me, and everything is, I'm scared of the unknown. That's normal. I'm scared that I may relapse. That's because you are not willing to do your work, and you know that. And I advise everybody, if you're not willing to do work to be the best version of yourself, do not make a life change such as weight loss, such as a relationship commitment, a marriage, if you are not prepared to do your self-work. Because no matter what lifelong journey you take in life, you have to do your root work. Yeah. You have to do your mental work. We are too, especially millennials. No shade to anybody, no jab to anybody, but we have a lot of hurt from our parents. We have a lot of hurt from family. We have a lot of sexual trauma. We have a lot of emotional baggage. We've lived through recessions. We've lived through world disasters. We've lived through changes in segregation. There's even been segregation that we dealt with on a social level. There's a lot that we've dealt with as millennials that I don't think people really take into consideration, and that's no shade to Gen Z, other generations. We're talking about what millennials though. We dealt with a lot because we've lived through a lot of decades where a lot of things were new, a lot of things were revamped,
we had to adapt.
And we had to adapt.
Without processing it.
Without no handbook, without no manual, without no guide. Like, we had this conversation earlier. When you think about it, we are, let me give you a little brain conversation, okay? We are souls. We are, if you want to call it spirituality, witchcraft, whatever, I don't care. Call it what you want, okay? I'm going to educate you real quick. We are souls. We are souls. We are little elements, atoms, whatever you want to call it, okay? And when we come to this planet or this dimension or this world, our parents are our tour guides, okay? They guide us to navigate this world. But if you give the tour guide everything that we had when they didn't know anything about the internet. They didn't know anything about social media. They didn't know anything about therapy to the magnitude that we as millennials know it as. They didn't really understand or do root work or shadow work because it was seen as demonic. It was seen as witchcraft to our very religious parents or our very religious generation. All this stuff that millennials are now getting back to their ancestry roots or their roots, it's claimed as witchcraft or demonic, and it's not. But it has been very beneficial for us to heal in this way. Yeah. Look at John Morant. He went back to his roots of doing meditation. These things have helped us heal. But when you have our tour guides or our parents that are guiding us down an unfamiliar path, they're going to make mistakes. Yeah. They're going to get it wrong because it's new for them. This is not anything that they've touched. Mind you, our parents are like 2 generations close to slavery. So their minds are still enslaved. So we are healing from so much, and you can't expect to come from a generation that raised us damn near slave mentality, enslaved to jobs, enslaved to ways of thinking, enslaved to what they were processed and programmed to believe what their tour guide showed them and those tour guides showed them. You can't expect them to even slightly comprehend what we deal with, nor can you hold them to a very strict, you have to understand or we can't communicate. You have to heal.
Understanding. Y'all you got to communicate, but the lines of communication aren't open as much as they need to be for our generation because they're so black and white. They're kind of stuck in their ways, and for that I give them grace. I can only imagine, like on the outside looking in, having to go from no internet to a handheld cell phone that I can scroll and talk to somebody face to face on. So it's a lot that we have to unpack, being millennials and, Gen Z? Or the one before us, but like it's root work and shadow work. It's not demonic, it's not witchcraft, it's you just processing, what happens on a day-to-day basis. Can you imagine like being a body, being a human, what you have to endure on a day-to-day basis to be able to get from getting out the bed to getting back in bed at the end of the day? That is a lot that we go through and endure. So over time,
gotta heal that.
You gotta heal that.
You have to address it. You have to rip the Band-Aid off. And I talk about this so much on my personal page and also on my my bariatric page. Y'all gotta do your root work. You gotta heal. And when I say root work, I mean getting to the root of things. So, for example, to tie this back into the topic, my love language was quality time. And the reason that my love language for most all my life until I healed was quality time is because I was involved with parents who worked. My mother was a single parent. She worked. If she wasn't working, she was at church. If she wasn't at church, she was serving at another church. She was always on the move. I grew up with adults. I didn't really have kids around because my siblings lived with my dad. So to have just me and my mom, who was always working, always moving, not to say she didn't make time to spend with me, but it wasn't as valuable to her to spend time with me because she was in provider mode. She was in survival mode. She was like, yo, I didn't really sign up for this whole me plus one. I signed up for 2 plus 1. Yeah. And because I didn't get that, I have to switch into a different mode. So the time that I could have given to you on a maternal level, I can't. And my love language, and then switching over to my dad, who's Caribbean, his love language wasn't quality time. Now, my dad spent a lot of time with us. It was toxic at moments, but I love my dad. And he did an amazing, he taught me how to ride a bike. He taught me so much. He taught me everything that I can truthfully say. Everything that I am today, as far as my level-headedness, ironically, from my dad, who is like really big personality, really type A, all of my level-headedness and calmness is from my father, of what he taught me of how to be observant, how to see things a different way. And all of that made up what I didn't get. I didn't get that time that was valuable to me. Yeah, and then I come to a relationship and I'm like, no, I need your attention. I need your time. And to a dude that got attention, to a dude that didn't have to do that, it's like, why are you sweating me right now?
Yeah, it was a lot.
I don't want to spend time with you. I'm playing a video game. I want to go hang out with my boys. But for me, that's abandonment. Yeah. Getting to the root. Why was that your love language? Well, because of the lack that I received from my parents. Give me 1 second, baby. From the lack that I received on this end, from the lack that I received, from friends that didn't show me time or give me attention until they wanted something. Like that lack of time, that lack of so much caused me to feel like I had to put all of that energy in my relationship. And that caused us to have some issues. Like, he was like, why are you acting like we can't be apart? Well, I got to the root. It came from childhood. It came from the lack. It came from this relationship. It came from that instance. It came from this. So when you get to the root, you can understand, that's why I keep attracting the same type of person and my relationship isn't progressing no matter where. Oh, that's why such and such is happening. Like, when you start to do that root work, you can start to pinpoint where you missed it. And you can start to hold yourself accountable and say, I did do that.
We don't want to hold ourselves accountable, so it's easier to just suppress it and move on.
And never address it. And that's why you can't get rid of them 20 pounds you've been holding on to.
Facts.
Because you haven't done your root work.
The 20 pounds ain't connected to the sit-ups.
They not. It's connected to the childhood trauma that you buried so deep that the therapist can't even reach because you don't want to discuss it in therapy. Everybody wants to go to therapy until it's time to talk to the therapist, and the therapist is like, no, you're not telling me something. A therapist can only help you if you say something. But if you're not being real with yourself, you can't say it out loud. So you have to do your root work. Right. That's the key to how much weight I lost, y'all. I healed. I addressed issues in my life. I removed mental blockages. I'm going to say this and I'm going to let Bae take over because I got to feed my kids. But how I describe, and I even went to a therapist who ended up actually did refer me to a psychiatrist because she's like, your brain you got a lot going on and you need medicine. And she was a Black therapist who was pro-holistic, but she was like, what you deal with is not something that I think you can just see a therapist for. Like, you don't need base level 1 psychology. You need advanced. And what I described to her, what I described to people based on my mental thinking back then was, think of a movie theater. When you walk into a movie theater, there are a bunch of different theaters with different movies playing at the same time. There may be a horror movie over here, a cartoon playing over there, a love movie playing over here, a sci-fi movie. All of those theaters playing all those movies were memories that were playing in my head at the same exact time, all day, in my sleep, when I was awake, when I was at church, when I was on a date, when I was having a baby. All of these things are playing through when we were having sex, all of these different theaters, and they were traumas of different things that I didn't address, different things that I didn't let go, constantly playing. Even when I was talking to people, even when I was talking to the therapist, the movies were constantly playing. My brain never got rest. And because of that, I wasn't able to connect spiritually. I wasn't able to connect with myself, my intuition. I wasn't able to connect with my kids. I wasn't able to deepen my relationship with my husband because there was so much chaos going on in my brain. And it took me sitting down with myself in the beginning of my weight loss journey and crying it out. I went through hell week, literally for a week of constant crying because so many things were being brought to the light because I was having to address a lot of baggage that I was carrying. I was having to address a lot of weight. I was having to overcome some things. Britnee, what is your issue with going to the gym? Why can't you stick with it? What is with the inconsistency? I had to address it because in order for me to lose the weight I wanted to lose, I had to go work out. I had to eat differently. Britnee, attack your relationship with food. Why do you have this relationship with food? What is your dependency? How was food introduced to you? These are questions that I ask people.
You need a master class
all the time. Like, you want to heal you want to lose weight, heal your relationship with food. Well, how did you get introduced to food? Well, my introduction to food was me and my mom. We watched Lifetime and ate sweets together. So food became an escape for me emotionally. When things were going crazy, when I was stressed, I ate. When I was sad, I ate. When I needed company, hey, you want to go grab brunch with me? I ate. What is the main thing that we always did on dates? Eat. Like, all of our dates were surrounded by food. Everything was food, but that was the connection. That was my healing. That was my therapy. That was my God. That was my church. That was my community. Food. And I had to heal that. You have to heal that. And in order for me to address all of those things, I had to start shutting down theaters. I had to start discontinuing movies. And when I started discontinuing those movies, my brain literally went like this. This is what my brain looks like. It's just blank. There's nothing going on up in here. If there's ever something going on, like if he does something to offend me, I don't suppress it anymore, because that's another thing I did. In conjunction with playing all the movies, I had a pressure cooker. You did something to me, baby, I was suppressing it. You said something crazy to me, I'm not confrontational. I'm not gonna say nothing to you. I'm gonna suppress it. And then the next person that comes and adds a cherry, I'm going off on everything they've ever done to me. And it may not even have been there, but I'm going off. I'm not only suppressing, but I'm spewing.
Yeah.
That was a problem in my marriage.
It was toxic.
It was toxic, and I was creating the toxic patterns myself. Nobody was included. It was just me.
It wasn't just you.
It was just me because I made a choice.
We both were in a season of doing root work, so it was a lot that we had to address individually and together. It was so much unpacking all at once. And mind you, in a situation that we were when all of this was going down was pretty much like living in hell within paradise.
This is true.
Because we were in a one room in her mom's house. It was our kitchen, it was our bathroom, it was our entertainment area, the living room. So it was just a lot going on with two children and having to try to deal with ourselves. So to tie all of this in, we believe more in the experience because the material things didn't change our relationship. Material can never change material. Mind always does. And once we understood that fact, we were able to get level-headed and clear and really get to the root of why we got together, what we like about each other, what we dislike, having open conversations without judgment, and being able to take accountability for certain things, actually practicing what we're saying as well. So experience to us will always trump anything. Y'all want to get us a gift? Give me a gift card to an eatery. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need all of the extra things that this world can provide. As long as, you know, we're together, we can be homeless. As long as I got my ace, we good. We're going to figure out a way to get out of there. And at the end of the day, we're going to look at it as an experience for us to grow. We're going to look at it from a positive mind frame rather than something that's going to put the weight back on, whether that's going to have me lashing out because we're homeless. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all perspective. And you know, just shedding light on that has really helped us. So we wanted to bring it to you guys as well, because I think that when you think of things like this, most people don't go deep. They just think about the surface things like, oh no, I'll take the vacation to Jamaica over a BMW. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get real surface with it and you don't even realize areas where you need to do work. So that's the TED Talk for the night, or the Alphin Talk. I know y'all commented. For those that jumped in, we're on TikTok and Facebook, so y'all see us kind of bouncing back and forth. If we weren't able to answer all of y'all questions, we apologize. Maybe we'll just kind of do some other videos to address some of these questions. But
I'm making taco salad, by the way. I feel like somebody's going to ask.
Oh yeah. We just switching it up. We haven't went live for a minute because we've been doing a lot of pre-records and just putting it on YouTube. So we just seeing that, you know, we got away from what really got us to this point, which is y'all. Like, I will always give props back to y'all. We would not have this platform without you.
I do it often, but I'm letting y'all know, thank you. I don't think a lot of influencers, whether it's for weight loss, whether it's for couples or whatever it is, I don't think a lot of influencers take the time to really say thank you. And I'm not saying thank you to be nice. That's not why I'm saying thank you. I'm saying thank you to y'all because you've changed our lives, because we have over 100,000 people that follow us on Facebook. We have over 170,000 people that follow us on TikTok. We have over 60,000 people that follow us on Instagram. When you look at that, somebody Googled it. She literally Googled 60,000 people, a stadium full of 60,000 people. Go Google a stadium full of 100,000 people.
It's a lot of y'all.
It's a lot. And some of y'all overlap through the platforms and some of y'all don't. Yeah. And thank you to all of y'all, whether you overlap or not, but not thank you to be nice, but thank you because you've changed our lives. We did a lot of our journey and a lot of our root work and a lot of our healing because y'all were asking us questions that made us have to dig deep in our marriage. Yeah. Y'all were trying us and challenging us on things, and we were like, "Damn, we didn't even think about that.
Exactly.
We didn't even process that." Okay, somebody just commented and said this. That was a trigger. Why was that a trigger? We've been married for all this time. Why did that trigger us?
Yeah.
And
I think that's why we got away from the lives, because we was like, we got work to do.
You know, like y'all were starting to give us homework, and we were taking time to do the homework. And that's why we're sitting down and finally unpacking our relationship to share with y'all in a book form, movie form, whatever, because we realize that we live what a lot of people pray for. A lot of this Sierra prayer stuff is literally what our marriage is. And not to say that our marriage is perfect or our marriage doesn't have any flaws. There are a lot of areas that we can improve in, absolutely. But for the majority of cries that go up to heaven or whatever you believe in, you know, those prayers for a man is him. I don't know too much about the woman's side. I can't speak on that, but I can say.
Oh no, you check off all the boxes.
For the women,
checking them off.
He's checking off the boxes.
Yeah, you're creating boxes and checking them at the same time.
He's checking off the boxes in many ways, and has helped me become the best version of myself, not just for him, but for me as a person, and vice versa. Yeah. And we appreciate that. We've gotten to work with major brands. Y'all saw, we worked with Hampton.
Bro.
I'm not trying to be funny. Y'all know.
2 little dreadheads and work
with
Hampton.
Like, excuse me, I'm going to be very with niggas. Okay? Niggas. They let niggas in the White House. Okay? We was in Paris. Okay? We got to experience Hampton by Hilton. Y'all know that ain't for colored folks. I'm sorry. Y'all can laugh at me. This is me, the raw and uncut. Okay?
I think you can say that.
They let niggas in Paris. Okay? So I am grateful for the platform, because if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't have gotten on the radar of Hilton. And we've been on the radar for a lot of brands that we can't discuss because of confidentiality agreements that we've signed. But we have been on the radar for a lot of brands. We are in communication with management now. Like because of y'all. Yeah. It's because of y'all. Yeah. And if you follow an influencer that doesn't thank y'all to that magnitude, please understand that y'all need to unfollow them.
Yeah, this is the service. This is the service and the purpose that we didn't even know that we were walking into. Because to be honest, like, we got here, I don't even want to say by luck or by chance, because obviously this was meant to be. But the way that it happened wasn't planned. We didn't sit down and say, okay, we're going to post 3 days a week. Right. And we're going to make sure we do it on this time. This is when our followers. No, she posted a video. We came back. This is October 2021. We came back. The joint went viral. We did it like another 2 times, both back to back. So
because of y'all. And it is, to be fair, it was because of TikTok. We started TikTok first. Then we moved to Instagram, and y'all literally blew us up in a matter of a month. And then Facebook, I think Facebook happened in the same month period of time. Like, we appreciate y'all so much because you've changed our lives. All of this financial freedom that people discuss is because of y'all. Yeah. I can't say anybody else's life, but for us, we are where we are. We're able to flow. We're able to have a great marriage. Because and it's not even because of material things, it's not because of experience, it's because y'all don't hold back the questions that you have, the comments that you have, the messages that you send, y'all don't hold back, and because of that, we don't take it offensively when y'all heat check us. We don't even take it offensively when y'all say something that you meant to be offensive.
Oh my God.
We
Speak
take
for yourself.
Listen,
why?
I don't take it offensively. But
bro.
I genuinely appreciate y'all, because y'all could have followed any black couple online. Yeah. You could have, supported any black couple. You could have given your coins, whatever little things that y'all send on Instagram and Facebook. Y'all could have done that to anybody. Yeah. You could have sent the video to nobody. You could have just scrolled past and whatever, but you sent it out. You shared it. You commented. You tagged your husbands and your boyfriends or your girlfriends, your wives on our videos. And that took a domino effect. Y'all give us, things to laugh at. Like, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really read comments, but when I do, y'all's comments be funny. And not funny in a I'm being sarcastic, but y'all literally have me belly laugh because the things that y'all be saying, especially when y'all clap back,
Yeah.
Baby, the tribe that clap
Shout
back.
out to the tribe.
Oh my
Speak
God.
for your boy, cause
Listen, y'all be cracking me up the way that y'all break down these
I'll be
people's
like,
comments.
hey, look, I ain't even have to go say nothing. Look at this one.
I love it. I love y'all so much. I really do.
Even when y'all see us in public and y'all say something to us, first of all, we literally, as soon as y'all get done saying something to us, we're talking to each other like, bro, that is wild. Like somebody just said, hey, we just walked into 3 different places and 4 different people stopped us in each place. Like,
talking about, oh, I follow you. I follow you. What you mean? Can you say something real quick?
y'all, we appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
I never get sick of the messages. I never get sick of the comments. Some we can do without, but we genuinely appreciate y'all because our lives, y'all have fulfilled some dreams of ours that we didn't even know were dreams. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, facts.
We appreciate it. Now, if we can just get this whole bullying going for my Ford Bronco, I would appreciate. I'm just playing. Don't do that. Don't bully them poor people, y'all. But I will get the Bronco. I'm letting y'all know that now. Anybody who follows me, who's a hardcore Britnee with Love follower, y'all know I talk about the Bronco every day.
Somebody.
I'm going to get that Ford Bronco. I don't care if I gotta pull up to Bill Gates' house. I'm getting the Bronco. I said what I said. I said what I said.
But that concludes
Yes,
live.
because our Sagittarius is standing here like, are y'all done yet? Is my food ready yet? She's the star of our show, and she's,
Go around. Don't hit that.
Child. She wants to be in the know, guys. She's coming. Just give her a second. Yay!
You want to say hi? She loves getting screen time. Say hi.
Tell everybody thank you for donating for your pageant.
Don't talk with your mouth full.
Well, thank you everybody on our pages who's donated to her pageant. If you don't know, our lovely prima donna here is competing for the non-pageant National American Miss. Yes, and it's not like a normal pageant or a regular pageant where they make the girls wear makeup and stuff. It's literally a confidence building, career success kind of situation. Very amazing program, very amazing opportunities for these girls from ages, 4 to 24?
I don't
or
think
26?
it goes that high. Does it go that high?
It does.
Oh.
It's like they're in their early 20s. So we appreciate all of y'all for donating. Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
You went viral. Tell everybody thank you for watching the video. I was inappropriate. That's why I was
the video.
Oh. She don't even know what we talking about.
She does. The video that I showed her.
Look, if she knew, she'd be like, don't support that.
But yes, thank y'all
Yeah.
so much.
Thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to do this more because, like I said, we always cook and be having conversations. So we're going to start bringing y'all in more. Again, this is our service. This is our platform, and we don't just want to use it to get followers or try to, pull money out of y'all. We actually want to make sure that we're giving y'all sound advice that you following for a reason for it. So that concludes tonight.
It's all done. You can go.
I'll get with Britnee to let y'all know the next time that we'll hop on live, but it may be on Instagram next time because tonight was only for TikTok and Facebook. But family, we love y'all. Tribe, we love y'all on all platforms. And
yes, we love y'all. Sorry, we had the conversations.
Yeah, that taco salad look good. All right, we finna eat. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
How you do this, man?
I don't know.